because nothing succeeds like success.
Amen. Yeah. So that's like, and I would like to be, in addition to that, I want to be in the venues that, seat 10, 15,000 people, and it just be poets. You know what I mean? Nothing, no big to do. Us, a microphone, and a spotlight. When we saw the movie earlier, the Quantum of Solace. I was thinking, I used to wonder, like, could you have like a tremendously large audience and there still be the intimacy of spoken word venues?
I think operas are intimate.
And that's exactly when I was looking at the opera in the movie, I was thinking, that's it. Like, that's it right there. That is what we're aiming for. Like, to have the intimacy that an opera has. And I mean, and it's just the people and their voices.
Exactly.
Yeah. So I believe that it is possible, but I think it's going to take more of us within the collective of artists to take on the mindset that this is what we want the art form to achieve.
Alright, so we like at 12 minutes. So.
Okay. Alright. Question: where, or rather, what, given changing those circumstances that, within your own life, is there any course of action that you would have taken that you didn't, or that you've taken that you wouldn't have taken, without changing anything else?
I did this thing, a Famecast. It was like a contest or something and they asked me to do it. Like, I was asked to participate because they said it would bring more attention to spoken word. And I don't know how good of an idea that was. I mean, it is what it was. I have questions about that whole situation. However, it did make me think about it made me think about the poetry on HBO, and like since I can bring so much attention to things like quickly, you know what I mean? Since I can my participation in things sometimes tends to bring a lot of attention because of the amount of planning. I'm like I told you, I'm up at 3 o'clock in the morning sometimes looking at databases. I mean, you saw the database I showed you.
Yeah.
I mean, it was like, did you notice it was like 7 or 8 different folders or categories of database? I mean, so because I focus on things like that, because I can, bring attention to something, I wonder if there was something I could have done to make that, more beneficial to the people who participated. So I kind of regret it. Like, I don't regret it for my personal career because, it never hurt me. Right. But I do wonder, like, I've had friends who did it and lost their job. People who did it and it changed their life, and not in a good way, but because it was anticlimactic. So I wonder if, things like that, if there were things that I could have participated in differently, that would have, because of my compulsion, and maybe it's self-interest, I don't know, but my compulsion to promote myself perhaps could have benefited. I regret the Lyric Cafe thing that we did, the fact that in a minute I could have got 10,000 people watching it, extra, you know what I mean? And I didn't, and I regret that. I regret not doing everything I can. Going back for years and years, I regret all the times that I could have done more to bring attention to my art form, and I didn't. Oh yeah. My last question for you is, what are your regrets? So it's like, remember, what do you regret?
What do I regret? I would have to say that the only thing that I regret is that I couldn't see what I see now earlier on. I was so into just being an artist, which in ways has worked to my benefit, but I think in the process I shut myself off from a lot of opportunities that I could have moved on.
Give me an example.
For example, the first and only time that I went to nationals, which was when it was in St. Louis. I went out there to be a part of the slam, because I'm thinking, nationals is the big to-do for spoken word. And I get to there, I have no CDs, I have no business cards, I have no flyers, and while I was there,
business cards is probably a problem, but ain't nobody buying nobody CD at no nationals.
However,
they will swap with you, but like selling large amounts.
However, the offset of that was when I was there, this sister who I met in Atlanta like years ago lives in St. Louis. Her name is Selena J, and she's on the radio there. And so
I met her. That's a fly sister too, by the way.
Yeah.
Fly sister. I met her. Yeah, I did her show.
Yeah, and I came up to the radio station and did the show.
Mm-hmm.
Well, while I was on the radio, I got a call from the who was it? Cedric the Entertainer's like manager was listening, and he was interested in having me come open up some shows for Cedric the Entertainer.
Right.
And he wanted a CD.
Right.
And I didn't have a CD. I was not thinking. I did not get his information. So maybe it would have just been blown off. He would have got the CD and like I would have never heard anything from him. But I will never know that whether or not that could have been something that could have ultimately been beneficial not only to myself but to the art form as a whole by putting me in front of the audiences that Cedric the Entertainer performed in front of.
All right, this is hella long.
Yes, it is.
So
extremely.
Is there one last question?
My question was going to be your same question to me, which is where would you like to see yourself in the art form?
I think that the die is already cast. I really think that 2009 is going to be an incredible year, man. I mean, I've learned a lot of things. You know, I've learned that a lot of the stuff that I've done in the past has been about proving to people how clever I am. And the most important thing I've learned recently is how useless that manner of thinking is.
Right.
Forget trying to convince people of how clever you are. It's all about connecting, you know, and I'm learning. So now the way that I build sets and the way that I'm writing this next CD, it's about the connection. Forget trying to convince people that I'm clever. You know what I mean? Forget the heavy puns and all that stuff.
Right.
Get to people. And so what I've been doing now is capacity building. That's what I call it, which is I've been trying to reach out to more and more people, build up my mailing list, build up my databases, build up all that stuff, you know, so that I can reach out and get to more and more people. And when I hit them, I'm going to hit them with something that people just didn't expect. You know, I'm going to hit them with something very simple, yet very complex at the same time. Because it's simple in that I ain't trying to convince them that I'm clever. But it's complex in that I put a lot of thought into connecting, you know.
As we should.